and most up-to-date information. You also mentioned that some of it may seem like a repeat. Well, we know with any time there's enhancements, anytime there is some updated information, it is absolutely imperative to see it over and over again. That's why we're going to be recording it. So for those that take screenshots and take unbelievable notes, we ask you to take those notes, but just know, take the pressure off. This is a live webinar. We'll actually record one scripted without any of the background noise, without any of the coughs or taking a drink of water just to get our throats straightened out. We're going to have that to you in the next 24 hours. So again, welcome to the webinar. Welcome to the training and updates, and want to get right to the information. We've got an incredible graphic team, and Dean, I know you're going to be coming in and also adding from a senior vice president leadership role, but also you're, along with Blanca and Thomas, have been in communication with our vice presidents, our sales directors, as well as all of our members with their questions. And I know there's going to be some added information that you'll want to pass along during this webinar. We freely invite you to do that. What you're looking at right now, and I've got 3 slides to show you, is the new Dubli Network India Corporate Dedicated Facebook page. Again, Dubli Network India Corporate Dedicated Facebook page. You know, we live in a very interesting world. These are interesting times. These are exciting times. And with social media, with the internet, the messaging, the communication, everything is going such at light speed. And we want to make sure that we're at the forefront. We had the pleasure to be on several conference calls with our wonderful Dubli corporate team members last night, and going over some of the dynamics, some of the updates, some of the enhancements that they're doing behind the scenes to make sure that you, our business associates, have the absolute best in tools, social media, the capability to share from the official Facebook pages. Now, let me just share a couple of things. One of the features, as you go to this Dubli Network India Corporate Dedicated Facebook page, one of the features is the magazine app. You're going to see it when you go to the Facebook page. It's on the left-hand side. Now, it's an app that actually allows you, a user, to flip through the pages of our beautiful Inside Dubli magazine, and to be able to share those pages via social media. More giving you more tools to market you to your networks. Please search Dubli Network India Corporate Facebook page. Check it out, like it, become a fan, so the latest posts appear in your newsfeed and you're able to share the content. Currently, we also have, as you look at the slides of our India Facebook page, and this just went live over the last 24 to 48 hours. The buzz has been tremendous. The response has been tremendous. You can only imagine the amount of calls, texts, emails that we've received. When is Italy going to be available? When is this country? When is Southeast Asia? It's all coming. Your Dubli Network team is working nonstop to make sure you have the best of the best. I also want to point out that currently we also have a dedicated Facebook page called Dubli Network Germany, and we can expect more country-specific Facebook pages to come in the very near future. Now, Dean, I was able to pry some information out of the team in Dubai last night on which the next countries are to follow. Unfortunately, we're going to have it a surprise to all of our business associates around the world. You'll love it. Make sure that you like it, you follow it, you comment, and you share the incredible new content. Dean, what do you think about the updates and this new and exciting social media look, feel, and the graphics are amazing? Would you agree?
I agree. I was just going to comment, Jerry, because this is the first opportunity all of us have had to see what the look is going to be like. You know, the graphics you're mentioning, the color, the layout, the whole thing. And again, this is our first, and so if this is a representation of what we're going to have available to all of us come January with all of the other tools and everything that's rolling out, this is spectacular. I mean, this is class, it's quality. This is something all of us can be proud about, especially when we start sharing this information with customers and developing the customer acquisition piece, as well as new potential business associates. Because when prospects see this type of graphic, this type of work, this type of layout, I mean, that's quality. That's the I'm truly, as you can tell, I'm stuttering, but I am impressed with this because this is the first time I've had a chance to see it.
Well, I can tell you that the three vice presidents, Sujit, and Shushanta in India, were absolutely ecstatic over the last couple of days and very thrilled. And I believe the team is doing just an amazing job. Dean, that also leads us into, before we get to the next slides, leads us into the very next magazine. We're about 80% done. Been able to see just a little bits and pieces. There are some business associates that are on this webinar that are featured in the new magazine, and we'll probably launch that within the next 10 to 15 days. And it will be available as we start to hit the circuit, the world tour, and make it part of the presentation. So look for that. It will be so easy. You know, the terms that we've been letting and communicating to the field around the world has been easy, simple, fast, and fun. Can you only imagine having the ability on your phone, on your smartphone, to actually pull up this interactive magazine and be able to use it as a prospecting, as a sharing tool, and you can see by the quality of work that is right in front of you that it will be second to none. And I'm very, very excited to be able to share just a glimpse of what we're looking at moving into the future. It's not just the new platform, as well as we cannot wait for that to happen. And as we talk about that, and want to communicate once again, specifically to not only our business associates that have joined us over the last week, last 2 weeks, last 3 weeks, but to make sure that we are all messaging the right message, that we are managing expectations. So when it comes to the launch date of the new Dubli platform, the browser extension, as well as the mobile app, that will be done in the first week of January. Dean, anything that you'd like to add in regards to now and what we could do now leading up to our January launch?
Well, I think, Jerry, the information that we're going to talk about this morning, especially as it relates to some of the products that we have right now, the PPA package, and a number of the tools that are available for us in terms of customer acquisition. I think what's going to be really important is to understand what we have right now and the advantages of using them now, especially as we head into the holiday season, which is really the season for us in terms of customer acquisition. And then what will be positioned for us come January, which I think come January positions us very well for business associate acquisition, if you will, in conjunction with customer acquisition. So I think it's just important now that as we go through what we're going through, that we kind of help differentiate the opportunities of now and the opportunities of our future.
And Dean, just to pick up a little bit on what you just mentioned, did you say something about holiday shopping, maybe going into the busiest time of e-commerce and mobile commerce? As you can see up on the screen, we definitely want to highlight and make sure that everybody is aware, wherever you are, in what part of the world. This is a very busy time of the year. You're going to be with friends and family. Just like here in the United States, within the next 10 days, one of the busiest times is Thanksgiving. Being with your families, being with your friends, celebrating. What a great opportunity to share. And you said the key words, customer acquisition. Expound a little bit on what we could be doing as business associates leading up to the end of the year.
Well, here's the thing. As it relates to the customer side, I mean, this is the time of the year that everybody's focused on, either Thanksgiving, which is coming this month here in North America, in the U.S., but also globally, the focus towards, Christmas and Hanukkah and a number of other holidays, worldwide. And the gift giving, and that's just a natural thing, natural extension of gift giving that comes along with it. The kids, their families, it's the opportunity for people to be able to just, express their feelings at the holidays, because that's when things really get focused. And I think the great thing about it is they already know, the customers I'm talking about know what stores they're going to shop at, or what gifts they want to get their friends, their family, their daughters, their children, or whatever the case may be. And now we have an opportunity, just by letting them know, they can do what they're going to do. Nothing's changing, same store, same products. In many cases, it can even be the same price, if not a better price, coming through us. But in the process of doing that, when this is a huge part of the year where an incredible amount of money is spent by the consumer, is the opportunity to get cash back, which is a tool. And this is something we need to keep in mind. We always talk about cash back as the ultimate goal. It's not the ultimate goal, at least from my perspective. The cashback is a tool that allows the consumer to then have additional funds to do whatever is important to them in their lives, whether it's their kid, their spouse, whatever the case may be. But they're not changing anything other than making that first step to come through Dubli, to do that as a Dubli customer, and reap the rewards of that cashback, which it expands the money that they have to spend, or it allows them to create an account. I call it a family account. And the cash back that comes in to use for whatever purpose they want it to be, whether it's paying credit cards off in January, or just a means of saving money, having an account, a family account for them to do whatever they want to do with their family. So this is when the customers are going to be focused on their expenditures, and it's a perfect time for us to what we would call share the good news. So that's, we're in a perfect place right now, especially as it relates to what we have available to us in terms of cash back, in terms of, the activation on the vouchers, and the payments that come back on the activations of the vouchers as well. So now is the time for us to make hay as it relates to the customer acquisition side.
Fantastic time of the year. There's no question about it. And from an industry standpoint, where 99.99% of all companies have a, so to speak, product or products. Generally speaking, within the industry, November, December, and January, in almost every one of those cases, straight across the board, is usually a downtime. Downtime on new enrollments, downtime on customer acquisition, down on compensation being earned by our business associates. But that's not Dubli. With our incredible product, which is the platform and shopping, we won't experience what other companies are experiencing. And having the opportunity, like you, Dean, and our other senior vice presidents, as well as many of the business associates that have been in the industry over the course of the last 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, and they've had some experience, they've experienced that same thing, the down times. And that is what makes Dubli so special. This is one of the best times, especially as we launch not only the shopping aspect and customer acquisition right now, but as we launch in January, the first week in January, with our new platform. Since we've started this call, over 150 people have joined us since we just started. So I do want to repeat one more time, because the texts are continuing to come in. Are we recording this webinar? Well, we're going to do better than that. Over the next 24 hours, we will make sure through your vice presidents and senior vice presidents that you have available to you a recorded webinar of today's webinar without any of the pauses, totally scripted out for you. It's the same slide presentation, as well as part one, which we did last week on the 10th of the month. So just a little tidbit there, a little brief commercial, so that you know, for those people that have joined us over the last couple of minutes. Also, one of the enhancements, as you can see, this one actually starts and goes into effect on January 1. What does it mean to be active? What does it mean to have the amount of customer or customer points for my particular rank? And I'm saying it as a business associate. As you can see, starting January 1, to remain active as a team member, you'll need to have one VIP active customer. And Dean, I know you're going to share with them that can be themselves, their own customer going through their own business associate ID number. For TL, it is 3 VIP customers, team coordinator, 5 VIP customers that are actively shopping, sales director 10, vice presidents 15, and senior vice presidents at 20. There are many people that are on this call. Congratulations and thank you on behalf of the company that have done and far exceeded this and already have 20, 25, 30, 35 VIP customers. And Dean, the questions have come in. What happens after January 1st? Do those roll over? Am I still qualified? What would you share? Because you're a person that has taken a lot of those questions in regards to the point requirements January 1.
Well, here's a couple of things, and thank you, Jerry, that I want to really cover, because this is very important for all of us in the field. We know today what our qualification requirements are based, regardless of our rank, and that is an active VIP customer and or voucher each month. Come January, this is where the qualification requirements to stay active become incredibly simple, and I mean incredibly simple. Because if you're a brand new business associate, you bought your package, whichever package you buy, you're going to use one of your own vouchers just to be your own VIP customer. That's without saying. That means you're immediately qualified as a team member, and you have no monthly requirement, period. As long as you're a team member, you got your own customer, you're good. You just continue to build your business, you're moving forwards. When you become a team leader, if you're a team member, you get promoted to team leader. During that process of business building, you're going to acquire 2 more VIP customers. I mean, that's also should be just a given. And so as a team leader, if you've got 3 VIP customers, you have no monthly requirement. None. You're fully qualified, always will be qualified. You just make sure that you maintain those customer points, VIP customer points. Same thing applies to team coordinator with 5, sales directors with 10, VIPs with 15, and senior VPs with 20. That means if you've got those customer points come January, there is no voucher requirement, no customer acquisition requirement. You are fully qualified, period. Now, let me add one thing to that. We all know that we're in our business and we're with Dubli because this is a new type business model, consumer-driven, retail-driven. And we're here because of customer acquisition. We're here because we want to build a business where we have residual income. Whether we work, don't work, we want to know it's here all the time. And most of you have been on a lot of the trainings that we've done, and we talk about an exit strategy. And the exit strategy is a financial number that each one of you have that you want to know for the sake of you and your family. That income is there every single month, no matter what. That residual income can only come from customers making ongoing purchases. And because the Dubli business model is retail driven, and the customer's not part of our genealogy, they're not in our business, they don't know there's a business, don't care there's a business. They do what they do because of the value that the Dubli retail site, Dubli.com, brings to them and their family. And that's also one of the reasons why they continue to share it with friends and family and other people they know. That means we all want to realistically have at least 100 or hundreds of personal customers. We want our organization, that each individual, each business associate have literally hundreds of customers. Because when you've got an organization and it's generating literally millions of transactions, because we're a transactionally driven business, millions of transactions on a weekly basis, at that juncture, if you're talking about pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, dollars, it doesn't matter. It's an unprecedented revenue stream. But for qualification's sake, in other words, to stay in good stead with the company, this is all we got to do. So that goes into effect, as Jerry was just saying, January 1. If you are a sales director today, then you know that each month, November, December, you need to have a new VIP customer enroll, unencumbered by a voucher you currently own, and or you buy a voucher, put it in inventory, and sell it later. Come January 1, if you're that same sales director, you're fully qualified. You have no monthly. So in other words, what Jerry was just asking me, do these carry forward? Absolutely. As long as you've got an active VIP customer, that customer point will count you in January. That really is exciting. The other thing is, if for some reason come January 1, you don't have the number of VIP customer points you need for your rank, there's 60 days for you to go out and get it. So you're really talking about, so you've got January, February, March 1, if you don't have it. So this is exciting. And I'll also mention one other thing, Jerry, because I think this is also important to understand. Dubli's business model is retail oriented. We all know, regardless of the country we live in, the regulatory agencies, the governments within the respective countries, all are looking at not only network marketing, but all the business to make sure that the customers are protected, their business entities are protected, that type of thing. So there's regulatory agencies always monitoring, and especially in the network marketing world, network marketing companies to make sure they're legitimate. This also keeps Dubli in excellent stead with any regulatory agency because it is customer driven, not distributor driven. You don't stay qualified because you go out there to recruit another business associate. It's customer driven, which for us, we need to also be thankful that the company is also looking to make sure that they are protecting the company, protecting it for us, so that they never have a chance, not never, depending on the government, they can do whatever they want to do, but that they're doing everything that they can do to stay in good stead with any agency and any government. So this is really exciting news, Jerry. Really exciting news.
Well, that was in depth and really appreciate that. A couple of key factors, and we'll move on to the next slide, is you said the word value. And I think if I was taking notes, or I'm encouraging you, if you're taking notes, to write down the word value, make it big, underline it, make it very bold in front of you, circle it a couple of times, because that really is key as we move forward with the enhancements, the amount of value that our VIP packaging and shopping and everything to do with Dubli brings an incredible amount of value. The other thing also, as we move on to some other slides, Dean, is to make sure, again, that you get with the person that enrolled you. If you're new to Dubli, make sure you get the right and accurate communication. Who is my upline support? Who can I go to? Who's that sales director? And if your enroller doesn't know the person that shared Dubli with you, go to that person's enroller. Find out. Cream always rises to the top. Worst case scenario, if you need to find out, you can email me personally at any time. I'd be happy to locate that person and make sure that you are being communicated to. Very, very important. One other aspect, if I could go off a script just for 1 second, and I appreciate your patience, and this is important. For all business associates on this call, whatever rank, however long you've been a part of Dubli, whether you're brand new or you're Dean Manheimer, make sure you pay close attention to your emails. I know for a fact that we've had throughout the last 30, 60, and 90 days more and more press releases that are being launched to the world, the financial world, the industry world of e-commerce, mobile commerce, the industry of network marketing. I know next week there will be more hitting the news wires. Pay special attention to that. Make sure you have the most updated information. It's well documented, and it is another tool as you share Dubli to give the credibility that it deserves at the highest level. As we look at our next slide, the new business licensing and membership packages, these all start as we roll into January. There will be a business license. It remains the same annual, or to start business annual or business license, I don't want to say the word annual quite yet, of $99. New to Dubli moving forward, on your anniversary date, there will be an annual renewal license fee of $39. Dean, I know you want to share with our business associates just here in a second what that means and the importance of that, and really why it is an enhancement. And as we look at the packages, there are 3 of them. Special team member package only available for India and Pakistan, $297 US. All of the dollar amounts are based on USD moving forward, including the business license, including the annual renewal, to make sure that we're on one global currency level and we're all talking the same language. And it's very easy for us, not only in the field, but from the corporate side, to manage everything. TM package $495, not only the 5 existing VIP vouchers, but an extra one, a gift to our new business associates to make a total of 6. And of course, our PPA package $2475, including the 25 normal VIP vouchers, but as a gift again, 5 extra for a total of 30. Dean, what would you like to add? I know from a senior VP, there's some exciting enhancements that you'd like to add at this time.
Yeah, let me just say this. The slides that are necessary for us to train from are going to be made available to myself, to Blanca, our other senior vice president, and to Thomas Schmidt. We're going to be able to take these slides because I just realized the time, Jerry, and I know we're trying to keep this limited. I have a tendency to I'm in the field. I know what the questions inherently will be. We will give you a blow-by-blow description on specifically why, but for the sake of this webinar and training, we're going to be somewhat succinct so that we can kind of get through it in a proper time frame. But you will see from each of the senior vice presidents some very extensive training coming on this that will really help us out between now and the end of the year. One of the things I will say is this. Historically, with Dubli, we've never really purged our network site, whether somebody stayed active or didn't active. And at the same time, we know in business that people get started, decide they really don't want to maintain the business for whatever reason, but they love the product, they stay as a product. But they have a tendency to cause the genealogy to, I don't know if clog is the right word, but that gets in the way, makes it difficult for us to be able to manage our business. The annual renewal fee is to allow the genealogy to maintain its integrity and stay clean, because we want to only be able to track and watch those that are actually interested in building a business. If they're interested in just being a customer, God bless them, that's great. So that's part of the renewal. It also helps the company stay compliant, again, with all regulatory agencies, that they're doing the things necessary to maintain both in the network side as well as the retail side of our business. In terms of the vouchers are just another benefit being added to the purchase being made for each of the business associates, depending on the package they buy, to use for themselves personally without the inventory coming out of the voucher package itself. And then we will go through some of the exchanges in regards to that on some future trainings, if that's okay with you, Jerry.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better. And the key words are communication and further trainings. This is exactly what your leadership will be doing over the course of the rest of November and, of course, December. As far as new business associates that are enrolling and being a part of the Dubli Network, after an effective January 1, 2016, the gift points that are associated with the TM and the PPA package will no longer be included. Key factor for everybody to understand, for those that truly want to maximize this promotion, you have all the way until December 31st. And quite frankly, somebody that enrolls on December 31st as a new PPA or a team member, they will be able to get their full 30 days of those gift points, which will carry over into January. But for those that enroll after January 1st, those gift points will no longer be available.
The only thing I'll add to that, Jerry, is that in the trainings that I'll be doing, that Blanca will be doing, that Thomas will be doing, we will cover the promotional aspect of the gift points. And as it relates to the value proposition that Dubli is going to be offering with the new VIP vouchers, the VIP lounge and whatnot, so we can actually tie a dollar and cent piece to it. Right now we're not able to do that. But the other thing I will say is that as Dubli moves forward, especially as it relates to promotions, there's always an evaluation process going on. And so once we have a little bit of understanding, or as we would say, have our feet underneath us over that first quarter of 2016. And then we can also evaluate what the company can do in terms of additional promotions or reinstating promotions or whatever the case may be.
Well, perfect segue into the next slide in regards to promotions. Want to make sure that our messaging to the field, from corporate to the field and back from key leadership back to the corporate team, is that promotions are just that. They're promotions. They won't last forever. The key words are to enjoy them, embrace them. There's better ones coming. We'll always be enhancing them, but they are key promotions. Let's make sure that we keep that in mind and manage the expectations as you're talking to your team and team members. Just as we're going to be talking about the President's Club here in just a minute, that is a new and exciting promotion. So some will go, some will stay, some will be coming, and it will be getting better and more enhanced to give you the best of the best in our industry. Let's move on to existing VIP memberships. The only couple of things that we want to touch on for everybody is to let you know that the cost for the VIP memberships will stay at the $99. Key for our European business associates and members as they share the Dubli shopping experience is that it will be $99. So it will be a savings actually for our European members. It will no longer be in euros after January. It will be in dollars. And again, our senior vice presidents and vice presidents will be training continuously to make sure that you have the accurate information on every one of the topics that we're sharing. You know, Dean, this is something new that we haven't shared in our last two webinars, and it was part of our questions that we received from the field, and we want to thank them for bringing it to our attention. It was something that we were going to cover as well. Back in around April, May, we launched what was called the Loyalty Member Bonus Program, and it was another way, one of the three ways to stay active. You can see from the slides what it takes to qualify, and it all was centered around gathering and being active, but gathering 20 VIP customers. We're letting you know that this stays in effect until December 31st. So for those people that enrolled from the time frames that you can see on the slide right now from October, we backdated it all the way from October of 2014 to December 31st, 2015. And Dean, I know in training you'll be going into this as well as Blanca and Thomas in much more detail, but we will allow those business associates to participate in the 5-year anniversary, receiving back the $24.75.
Yeah, that was one of a lot of the questions that were coming in regarding those people that own the PPA packages. So this really helps to make sure that the program that the BA used when they bought their PPA package stays in effect for them through December 31st. Then come January 1, the loyalty program is no longer part of our business, but anybody that got on it before then, it will be honored and they will be taken care of.
Thank you, Dean. The key word, honored, and we definitely appreciate each and every one of our members, business associates that have stayed active and far exceeded the 20 VIP new customers. Fabulous job. Congratulations. Again, we've talked about this on our very first one, on our very first training call, the new frontline bonus, which starts in January. Want to make sure that you're all aware of it. And again, during the trainings that will be coming up, how to maximize our current frontline bonus as it moves forward into the end of the year. Dean, anything you want to share on the frontline bonus?
Well, I think on this one, what I will say is on the trainings that the three senior vice presidents do, we can go into a little bit more explanation because there is a methodology behind this and a method by which it can be used in conjunction with what we have right now. But for the sake of time, I won't go through it now. But I will promise you that at least from my perspective, I will have a complete training done within the next 3 to 5 days, and then I'll post it and I'll let everybody know where it's at. I know that Blanca will do the same, and I know that Thomas will do the same, because we want to make sure that our people in the field understand how to use this, what it means, and how it will impact their business.
Speaking of promotions and moving forward, cannot wait for the new President's Club. This is something that we've discussed in our webinars over the last 2 times. This is our 3rd webinar, sharing it with the field. The buzz has been absolutely off of the roof. You can see the details as far as qualifying, what it means to you. The bottom line, for a person that's seeing this for the very first time, we want to reward our top-tiered leadership for the right activities and make sure that they're a part of our President's Club, having a voice at the highest level as we move forward and take Dubli from, as we say, good to great. In the year of 2016 will be the qualifying time to start and be an exclusive member of the President's Club for 2017, and it is a club that is based on an annual membership, so to speak. You need to qualify each and every year, but I can tell you, Dean, and you know, and Blanca knows, and Thomas knows, and our vice presidents know, and our key leadership know that the buzz has just literally been off the charts when it comes to the new President's Club. And along with that, what does that mean? It means lifestyle. It means special getaways with our President's Club and corporate core leadership, so that we can plan, we can strategize, we can look at what's going on in the field now. We can have time of fellowship, relaxation, a time of travel, building and bonding with our key leadership, and it's all about being a part of the key exclusive President's membership. Dean, I know you're excited about it. What are you hearing about it in the field?
Well, I mean, here's a real reason for people who want to strive to be vice president and senior vice president. It rewards leadership, and leadership comes from people that take care of the organization and guide and help them move along. So, and it also gives a real incentive for somebody that's a vice president today to absolutely want to be a senior vice president. So, I've often used the term, a lot of times about Dubli in the traditional business world. There's something called the golden handcuffs, and that is rewarding management, rewarding leaders in a way that they never would ever want to look at anything else. And this is a perfect way to do that, because when you're looking at something like this, I don't know that there's any other company I've ever seen out in the industry that offers a program like this at all, Jerry.
Yeah, I think one of the anomalies and one of the most incredible and attractive dynamics of Dubli is not only our promotions, obviously our business model, but having the ability to actually reward those that want to strive for and achieve to be a part of the President's Club. Cannot wait to have this in effect. It's truly amazing. As we get ready to close today's webinar and training, want to highlight and update people, business associates that are on this webinar with our extensive world tour that is starting on December 3rd. As you can see, we go from Denmark, then on to Pakistan. And by the way, Dean, even while we were on this webinar, the updates as far as locations, venues have been coming in, and over the course of the next week, for sure, and the coming days, we'll have newsletters going out to the team so that you can build your global business from Salt Lake City, from Singapore, from Delhi, from all parts of the world, Middle East, leading into these events. And as you can see, Denmark, Pakistan, Germany, Singapore, 3 different events in India, Malaysia, Dubai, Morocco, Casablanca. First time as we get ready to pre-launch and launch some of these new markets. And then we will end the tour in Italy. What a beautiful time to be in Italy with our 2 new vice presidents, as well as the amazing new sales directors that are achieving new ranks all across our world tour. Do not miss what happens at a world tour very quickly. You're going to have local leadership presenting and edifying having the opportunity to show appreciation to our local leadership. You're going to have a time where your guests and prospects will get what we call a mini business presentation so that they can find out who is Dubli, where are we today, and then Dean having the opportunity to show the vision of where Dubli is not only today in November, December, where it's going in January, where are we going in 2016 and beyond. And can you only imagine the updates because of technology changing and being enhanced on a daily and weekly basis, what we're going to be able to show on the world tour? The excitement is at its highest. Do not slow down. Do not say for a second, I'm going to take November, December. It's not quite here yet, waiting for the platform. This is not the time. And I know, Dean, from a field leadership aspect, you know that better than anybody, but the world tour is going to be absolutely amazing, launching us, springboarding us into 2016.
Interesting enough, Jerry, I'm going through some materials and some trainings of myself because we're all constantly learning. And there's a gentleman by the name of Will Durant, and he's kind of a renowned writer as it relates to success and those types of things. He has a saying, and he says that great nations and great businesses are built by people willing to sacrifice present luxury for a future benefit. In other words, what he's saying is, and we've used it in different words, do today what others aren't willing to do, so in the future you can do things that others will only wish they were able to do. And like you just said, we got right now, instead of taking November and December off, now we go to work. Now we start building. Now we start getting the word out as it relates to customers and what the value is that Dubli has for them with the holiday season. And at the same time, we also get to other people who may be interested in our business, showing them the possibilities, explaining to them what's coming in January, because at the end of the year is when people start evaluating where they're at presently in life. If the timing is right and they're unhappy with where they're at and they're interested in making a change, January is the perfect time for them to make that conversion. But if you wait till January to share that information, everything runs in quarter cycles, 3-month cycles. You're looking at maybe February, March before they would make a decision to join you. You start now, come January, they look at January to make the conversion, and you hit the ground running quicker. So timing is the essence, I guess is the best way to put it.
And maximize the world tour. It is amazing the amount of leadership around the world, people from Denmark making plans to be a part of the world tour in Pakistan, and people in Europe going to Asia, and part of our Asian business associates going to other parts of the world just to participate. But you don't have to travel and be a part of the world tour. Maximize and build your business on a global basis right where you are in your local market. It truly will be an incredible world tour. And Dean, as we wrap up on the last slide, I'm going to turn this over to you to close out the webinar. Once again, I want to thank each and every one of our business associates for participating with us today. Again, you will receive through your core leadership a recording of today's webinar, as well as one from last week and the original one that is already on the internet. But Dean, perfect segue to talk about being at the start line and finishing as we move into 2016.
Well, I guess the best way that I could think to end it is this way, is that now's the time for leaders, those of us on this webinar, to step up and do the things necessary to lead our people, because they're looking to us for guidance. And one of the things that I've learned over time is there's really 3 kinds of people that are out in the world today. Those that make things happen, and I got to believe those that are on this webinar are people that make things happen. The other 2 types of people are people who watch things happen, which would be those who are going to wait till January, February to see what rolls out. And then there are going to be those people who wonder what happened. And I don't believe we've got any of those that are part of this webinar. So now the cream, as you said, Jerry, rises to the top. Now is the time for us to step up. Now is the time for us to take a leadership role. And now is the time for us to start leading and guiding our people, because they look to us for that. And the one thing that I can tell you is, everybody else in the rest of the world outside of Dubli can look to the holidays, kick back and relax, but we're going to work, because come January, we will be in a position that others are going to be very envious of. So with that, I want to thank everybody for being with us on the call. It's been a privilege. It's been a pleasure. As Jerry said, we'll get the recordings out as soon as we can. And I know that I want to thank Thomas Schmidt. I want to thank Blanca Williams for their leadership roles. We are all part of the team. We're all senior vice presidents. And I know that each one of them respectively also will be getting with their groups. They will have slides. We're going to get the trainings going. And now is the time for all of us to bring more of you into the ranks of senior vice presidents. So thank you all very much. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful evening. And Jerry, thank you for your insights. Thank you for the leadership role that you've taken as a chief CNO, chief whatever. I'm not going to go there now because I'll mess it up for sure. But thank you anyway, Jerry. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.